Hello world of what culture, my name is Simon Miller and yes, you are watching the Why series where I come up with some kind of title and I tell you why. And you comment saying, no Simon, you're wrong, this is what it should actually be. And I'm like, that's cool man, we're brothers, we're bros, we're sisters, we're family. Just one big smiley group of love. But recently on WWE TV, we did see a massive angle between Kevin Owens and Vince McMahon. And yes, Kevin Owens slammed the chairman on the board in his head with his own head, and it was actually really dangerous. They probably should have done that, but it still worked in terms of getting us excited. But there's one small problem. I don't want to see Kevin Owens versus Shane McMahon now. I want to see Kevin Owens versus Triple H. Why? Here's why. Now, first of all, we do have to talk about the fact that WWE did do a very good angle on SmackDown between Vince and Kevin. Because let's face it, 7 days ago, whenever it first started, no one really cared about Kevin Owens versus Shane McMahon. Now, I actually thought it was all right, because if you take someone like Owens and put him with someone like Shane McMahon, Owens is going to be treated like a big deal. They're never going to job Shane out. Shane is a McMahon, so if you get in a program with him, you're only going to benefit on the other side. That's gold. Look what it did for AJ Styles. Furthermore, him plowing Vince McMahon in the head has now made Kevin Owens into this badass heel. Now, admittedly, that was more fun than anything that Kevin and Shane has done, but we've still got a few weeks to fix that. The other problem, though, is there's now a more interesting story that I want to see, and if I had to guess, which I'm doing now, we're not going to see, and now that's made me sad. So I'm like, okay, we've got Shane and Kevin in a Hell in a Cell, that'll be good, I'm sure I'll enjoy it, but now I want to see the other thing. I'm not getting the other thing, so I'm like a sad child. And why is that other thing? Well, you already know, because the title says it, and I said it at the start of the video, so if you haven't caught up to me at this stage, geez man, you're behind. Come on, get those wheels rolling, get back with the video. But yeah, seriously, given that the son-in-law of the man who just had his head exploded is a real wrestler, namely Triple H, why wouldn't we all want to see the son-in-law defend the father-in-law's honor? Now I understand what the argument to that is. Yes, Shane McMahon is the actual son, so he's got real flesh and blood. So technically from a storyline standpoint, that makes a lot more sense. But here's the thing, Shane McMahon is not a wrestler, Triple H is like a 13-time world champion. If you're going to go into battle, right, you're going into battle, and you got King Arthur, or you got like one of those emoji faces. Who do you want standing alongside you? Do you want King Arthur, experienced battle dude that knows what he's doing in war, or do you want an emoji face that's really annoying and has taken over the society even though it can't do nothing? That was a weird comparison, admittedly, but look, you pick King Arthur, and in this situation, you pick Triple H. Now, we take a step back and think about things, that would actually be quite a nice progression of this story, because yeah, I will take and I will enjoy Shane McMahon versus Kevin Owens in a Hell in a Cell, mostly because those two will be allowed to do more than the other wrestlers on the card, because you know, they're tied into Vince McMahon, and if Vince McMahon can have blood, then Shane McMahon and Kevin Owens can do whatever they want. And then yes, we'll probably see Shane jump off it or go flying through it, or he'll just blow himself up into a million smithereens because he's crazy, and that will be cool to watch. It will make the Hell in a Cell pay-per-view noteworthy, and then we can all go online and talk about it and go, oh, it's amazing, it's amazing, it's amazing, it's amazing. After that though, there can be no follow-up, because the only reason there would be a follow-up is if Shane McMahon won, and good grief, Shane McMahon cannot win. I understand he's the babyface and he's the good guy, but it's still wrestler versus non-wrestler. In that kind of situation, wrestler has to win. I mean, he didn't win against AJ Styles, and he didn't win against The Undertaker, so there's no reason to job Kevin Owens out. Kevin Owens is a future star of your company, if not a current star. Don't do it. But when all is said and done, why not progress this narrative further by using it as the catalyst to bring Triple H back to TV, who can simply turn up and say, look bro, you headbutted my wife's father in the skull, we gotta have a fight, we gotta settle this. If this does happen and Kevin Owens is used in the right way throughout all of it, do you know how much of a big deal Owens is gonna be when we get to the full stop with that? He's gonna be massive. Look what he's already done. He's blown off Shane, hopefully he'll do that again in Hell in a Cell. He beat up the chairman of the board, and then maybe he beats the legend known as Triple H the game. You can even build to that at WrestleMania 34. I take Triple H versus Kevin Owens at WrestleMania 34, especially if the long-term plan is to make Kevin Owens the biggest heel in the company. Kevin Owens is so good. He's so entertaining. He just gets it. I don't care he's not built like a brick house, and I love those kind of guys. I love muscles. I'm crazy, but Kevin Owens has something, so give him everything you got. put them against the big guys and let's see what happens. The greatest thing about all this is that you've got extra mileage there when you remember what happened last year or 2 years or 10 years ago, whatever it was. I don't know, there's so much wrestling, I forget when it went down. But how did Kevin Owens win his first ever Universal title? Triple H popped up and he helped him out and he screwed Seth Rollins over in the process. Now there's every chance I've forgotten them explaining that, but I don't actually think they ever did explain why Triple H helped Kevin Owens, so use it now. Now understand, that's quite a leap. Why is Kevin Owens and the man that helped him win a championship gonna have a fight? But you can come up with something, just tie it into that, give me a reason, take the Vince McMahon stuff, take the Shane McMahon stuff, take the Stephanie McMahon stuff, and boy howdy, do we have a good feud there. I mean, what else are you gonna do? Gonna give us Sami Zayn versus Kevin Owens again for the 32,000th time? And I love that match. Don't get me wrong, those two have chemistry like nobody else, but come on, you can't keep doing something over and over again. I love ice cream, but if I eat ice cream from midnight to 11:59 every day, one day I'm going to wake up and go, I don't want ice cream anymore. Actually, no, I wouldn't. I could eat ice cream every day for about 10 years and get to the end of that decade and go, that was a good 10 years. Let's do another 10. I think my real bugbear with all of this is that I get you can get one gimmick match out of Shane McMahon, Kevin Owens, but you could do so much more for the character of Kevin Owens with somebody like Triple H. And also, who else is Triple H going to fight either at next year's WrestleMania 34 or prior? I mean, I can't think of anyone that just jumps out from nowhere that I'd like to see, and that I would like to see. It's probably something I would have been intrigued about beforehand, but now that we've done all of this other stuff, we've planted so many seeds. If we don't pull the trigger on this and we don't do it, it's going to feel like a massive missed opportunity. And yes, it is what's best for business, because you're taking a guy who's on the way up and is still kind of young, he's like early 30s, so he's got years left in him. You're putting him against a superstar from the Attitude Era, and you're giving him the rub that he needs. And I know he got some of that when he first debuted and he went against John Cena, and to be honest, he gets himself over because he's so damn good. But let's go all the way with this. Let's not hold back. Let's look at Kevin Owens and say, let's give the man a chance because he's good. We all love him. Let everybody else love him too. Also, if you want to make sense of the whole thing, if Shane McMahon does lose, the McMahon family just going to bend over, are they? Just going to bend over like, oh well, we sent Shane to try and get revenge, he failed. I guess we'll just ignore all that. Screw the fact he headbutted, the most important man in the company in the face. Who cares? We don't care. That's not realistic. What is realistic is getting your family to try and make this work. In this case, that's Triple H whooping Kevin Owens' ass. But he doesn't whoop Kevin Owens' ass because Kevin Owens is too good, and Kevin Owens wins, and everyone's happy. Namely me, Simon from What Culture, who's now just shouting and ranting and raving and throwing his arms into this video camera. It's weird, isn't it? What I'm doing right now is really weird. So yeah, ultimately, overall, the big caboozle, that's what I want to see. I think ultimately this feud should lead to Kevin Owens versus Triple H, and I think it'd be a feud that we'd all enjoy, and probably one of the best of 2017 or early 2018, if you want to wait that long. I mean, it's a long time to wait, but you could do it. I don't know, Triple H comes out of the Raw Rumble, chucks Kevin Owens out and says, I know what you did to Shane, my brother-in-law, and my dad-in-law, whatever the damn thing's in, and my wife's upset. She's at home all the time moaning and getting mad at me because I'm not doing anything. So now here I am to do something about it. It'd be like a domestic argument that becomes a wrestling match. Don't do that, that sounds terrible. So that's what I'd like to see anyway, and we won't see that because we never get anything that I want and it makes me sad. But just to reiterate, I think the Triple H versus Kevin Owens program would be really good. Be like Triple H versus Seth Rollins, but you'd have Kevin Owens, obviously. And look, we saw Triple H versus Dean Ambrose. We've seen Triple H versus Roman Reigns. I know Kevin Owens doesn't fit into that Shield barrier, but he's a new upcoming dude that came in around the same time, maybe not really. So let's see that. Fingers crossed. Now, don't forget to leave a comment below and let us all know whether you want to see Triple H versus Kevin Owens. Like, share and subscribe. Head on over to whatculture.com and read yourself some wrestling articles and follow What Culture on Twitter. What Culture WWE. My name is Simon from What Culture, and all you gotta do today is put a big smile on your face and go walk around outside. And if one other person smiles back at you, you're gonna be like, wow, what a wonderful world we live in. And if they don't, well, just ignore that person. They suck.
It's time to ignite!